So who is the next guy gonna be at Indiana for the job? We're gonna talk about one candidate today, and it should not be a mystery. This is the first one I'm gonna cover, and I got a clip of him to show, but it's gotta be Chris Beard is number one on my list, and I'm gonna play a clip because this guy is classically connected to so many parts of Indiana basketball, the parts that we love so much. For him to articulate and understand those parts all together as a whole. Not only that, but I think compared to Dusty May, he is the alpha. He is not the beta. And look, the more research I've done on coaches, look, Branch McCracken, hard ass. You know, a lot of people in Indiana, hard ass. Bob Knight from Ohio, but a hard ass. And you know what? We just got to look at some of the more interesting things about Chris Beard, how he is able to talk to a crowd, how he's able to really like go out there and be a politician. And here's just a clip of him in a clinic that I was watching this morning, and I just thought I have to share this with everybody because it is really, really great.
All different levels. I've coached at NAI, Division II, junior college. I was at one college where it was a transition from D3 to D2, so I coached under D3 rules at some point. I've coached low major Division I basketball, high major basketball. You know, we coached on Monday night. One of our teams played for the national championship. We've taken 4 different programs to NCAA tournaments, so I've also coached some professional experience. 1 year I coached basically in the NBA G League. And then another year I had a chance to go to Europe for the summer and coach in Eurobasket. So I don't say that in like an arrogant way, but I say that in an absolute way. I think sometimes when you're listening to somebody speak at a clinic, you say, well, that guy never coached at my level, or he never understands. So I feel like one thing that's been special about my journey that God's blessed me with is an opportunity to coach at all different levels. So maybe everything tonight doesn't parallel in that way, that our program is kind of an open book. Invitation to any of you, if you ever wanted to come spend time with us in Oxford, Mississippi, whether it's for practice or game, our practices are always open to coaches. Our film room is always open to coaches. So something Coach Knight believed in, and we've tried to honor that. So this is one that Coach would talk about all the time. It's still true today. We tell our staff
all through the summer, I have been studying this book, and there is so much great information in this book about Knight's coaching style. Although I love the book, The Power of Negative Thinking, as well. But this book really does articulate a lot, and I've just studied a lot of the chapters in it about like what the philosophy, so I can just get a deeper feeling, a deeper meaning of like what was behind the genius of Bob Knight. And you can tell like this guy embodies that same, not only genius, but the wanting to share the game with everybody. That's what it's all about. That's what Indiana basketball is all about. Like we're the purveyors of basketball. I mean, James Naismith said it's like basketball may have been invented in Massachusetts, but it flourished in Indiana's. I mean, when they brought the game to Crawfordsville, to the very first place, like the first place where a basketball game was held, they just put a sign out front that said, basketball game tonight. It was in the town hall because it had a wood floor, and they put up the baskets. Indiana had never seen anything like that. And Indiana from that day forward would be changed forever. And we've always been the place where it originated, where it originally grew, because we had all these tiny high schools. We were being left out of NFL, or we were being left out of college football. You know, college football was gaining national prominence in like Michigan. Even, you know, Notre Dame was starting to get there nationally recognized, and like a little bit later on. But the small towns of Indiana, we could not cobble together in these small towns, which Indiana is still littered with small towns everywhere. I grew up in a town of 10,000 people, Auburn, Indiana, 10 or 12,000. So our landscape is still littered with these small towns. And if you want to get together 5 guys for a basketball team, that was what it's all about. Chris Beard, he seems to have that innate, deep down understanding of Indiana basketball and like what it really means to all of us. Not only just the flagship university, Indiana University, that is the main place where the game was spread, like from the beginning. As soon as came back, the first... Yeah, Dad, what's it gonna be like when we finally do get a new coach? Well, it's gonna be a little bit like... Gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight. My motto's always been, when it's right. Look, waiting till the middle of a cold, dark night. When everything's a little clearer in the light of day. Hey. And you know the night is gonna be there anyway. Hey.
Reminiscing songs together, make some sparks ignite, getting ready for a little afternoon delight. My motto's always been, when it's right, love, waiting till the middle of the cold dark night. When
Skyrockets in flight, pew! Afternoon delight, pew! Afternoon delight.
Have mental problems, man.
Yeah, you have mental problems, man.
Yeah, it really
Came
does.
back, the first All-American, Everett Dean, that came back to play, to coach Indiana basketball. He was the first player who was an All-American, and then came back and coached. And then Branch McCracken was one of his players, and then he became, the first national championship coach. A bit of inside Indiana knowledge in this sweater chat is, and Peegs told me this on the phone the other day, the first year that you used to have, they'd tip the ball. Every time a basket was scored, they'd go to a live tip, if you can imagine that. But the first year they didn't do that. That's when the Hurricane Hoosiers were created. And that's when we first got our first look at a national championship. And we were on the cutting edge then, and we got to be on the cutting edge now of shooting the 3 ball, of doing all that stuff. We've always been there. And the fact that we're not there now, I mean, it's sad. You get the right guy, brings it back. We all have a deep, innate understanding of the game at all different levels. And look, people, I mean, I had great basketball coaches when I was a young kid that did understand the game. I realize that now. I realize that when I lived in New Jersey, that it's not like that everywhere else. And when you get outside the state and you do start talking to people about the game and things like that, they don't understand it. They don't understand the game and in the way. I'm not trying to be all uppity, but there is a foundational purpose and a foundational principle here at Indiana that is really unique to all of us. Thank you for joining me on this sweater chat today. Just Beard, I believe he just has such a great way about him. Until next time, stay cozy out there, Hoosier fans.